Hey guys, you seen that title? Now it's getting back around to that time of the year again. I know some people start school in August, some start in September, but here are 7 ways to help you get started when it comes to homeschooling. Now, number one, have a talk with everyone that will be involved. You want to make sure that you maybe talk to the people that is in your home or will be in your home at that time to kind of give them a rundown of how you feel everything will go at that time, just so it'll be a heads up. So if the kiddo's sitting down doing something, you don't want someone coming in to interrupt them. And the same with the kids. You want to make sure everyone is on the same page. Now, number two, you want to make sure you research independent or umbrella schooling. Now, if you are going the independent route, you want and you report to the state and you basically follow their guidelines. You want to make sure that you have all of the contact information that you need. You want to make sure that you basically speak with everyone so they know the route that you and your child is going to go. That's what I do, or that's what I did when I chose the independent route. Now, if you're going the umbrella school way, the only person that you talk to is the people at that umbrella school. You turn in, well, I know the umbrella school that I'm with, I turn in my kids' grades and their attendance, and that's it. And they do everything else for me as far as contacting the state. Next, you want to have a talk with your children after doing your research to see if you want to go the independent route or the umbrella school route. And that's just to make sure that they're on the same page with you and it's something that they actually want to do and they're actually comfortable with. This plays a huge role because I've seen so many people that started homeschooling and their kids are all over the place and they don't know what to do. And it's basically because the child thinks that they're at home having fun and they don't have to go to school. So it's very important that you sit your child down, you talk to them so they'll understand what's going on. Or you want to find a curriculum that will work for you and your children's learning style. There are online things, there's online interactives, or is just material that you can have shipped to you. It's printables. It's so many different ways that you can go by making sure that your child gets the education that they need. Now I have a link to my website so you guys can go over the homeschooling section on that. It'll be down in the comment section below. Now, number five. If this is five, yes, number five. If you don't have a PC, this would probably be the best time to purchase one. That if you are not into that type of thing, getting a PC, I totally understand. But if you are, this would be the best time to purchase one. You don't need anything just overpowering, but if you are gonna get like some type of program offline and your child is gonna go through that program, you want to make sure that your specs meet up with that program. So just keep that in mind. Number six, you want to make sure you have school supplies, and yes, you heard it right. You don't have to have like the 50 or 60 things that I think they ask for in regular brick and mortar schools, but you have to make sure that they have things like pencils, paper, pens, crayons, markers, glue. You want to make sure they have things like that just in case you want to do some type of science project. When it comes to writing, you want to make sure they write, because just because they are at home or doing things online, you want to make sure they get their hands used to writing. Because I know when my daughter first started just really writing, her hands would bother her sometimes because she couldn't stand writing. And so you want to make sure they have their school supplies just to be able to jot things down and take notes of that sort. Now, number seven, you want to make sure you want to make sure you have some way to keep attendance and grades at all times. Now you have to find a way to keep your attendance and grades, but I always use like Google spreadsheet, and I make a Google form, and I just basically plug in that information. I use that same form every day to plug in that information. So at the end of the school year, I have their attendance for the whole week. You can do it where you do it for the week or you do it for the day. And I just basically do this just in case anything was to happen with the state or the umbrella school and they say, well, is there any type of way that you keep up with these things? I can have that in front of me. I can have some type of documentation. I know a lot of people don't like keeping up with any work that's done, especially if it's no work that's gonna be online. So keep up with the grades and attendance at all times if possible. And now I have one more: call or email, which if you are thinking about choosing an umbrella school, make sure you call them and make sure you email them. You want to make sure you email them because you will have the documentation saying, okay, this is what happened. You can print that email out. And you want to make sure that you call them to make sure for a fact that you have everything together, because sometimes, especially if you have some type of unique situation going on, you want to make sure like, hey, this person told me this and I got this email, and just vice versa. And after that, it is time to go. You know, it's time for school. So just make sure you always go by your state guidelines. I know here in Tennessee, you have to do at least, you have to do 180 days. And that's literally all that you have to turn into the state: 180 days and, other basic information. But just make sure you know the state guidelines. If you are doing it independently, there's always some type of form that you need to fill out at the end of the school year. So if you didn't fill out that form for the last school year, make sure you do that. If you already have, make sure you got it for the next school year. Make sure you find some type of calendar, because they will normally email it to you if they email you the form about sending in grades and all that. Just make sure you have a calendar and you're good to go. If you guys need to know anything else, you can write it down in the comments below, or you can come over to my website. I'll be pinning it below in the comment section, and you can click on chat. And as soon as I see it, it goes through my Facebook. You don't have to have a Facebook account. You can sign in as a guest, and I'll see it there. I'll see you guys next time.